Hello everyone. Welcome to the stream. Today is gonna be a bit of an interesting one because we got an Honor of Kings game. We actually got 3 games. It's a bit of a mini tournament, and it's not just that. It's gonna be between 2 legends, 2 absolute legends, with teams including more legends. Excalibur, what are you thinking about this? Excalibur is so excited that he's muted. That's the funniest thing.
I got so excited about this that I couldn't talk. I've been watching esports for 15 years, and I'm a grandpa, right? I'm a grandpa. I'm like mid-30s almost. So some of these guys I've been watching since I was in my early 20s, and I cannot wait to watch these guys play Honor of Kings. Obviously, Honor of Kings is a big deal for me, and I think like watching some of the guys that I grew up with watching playing like competitive MOBAs, like the backgrounds of these guys is insane. They've got so much history, so much prize money behind them. This is going to be incredible. I'm really excited.
Oh yeah. So let's talk about who's actually playing. So I'm going to bring them up and boom, there we go. We got Team Arteezy and Team I Will Dominate. And I'm sure a lot of people are going to be familiar with these names. And talk me through this, Alexander. I mean, I Will Dominate, you know, a bit older, just like you. Talk me through him.
Excuse me, a bit older, just like you. Goodness gracious, hells, mate. I'm young. I'm young. I'm still. I can do young people things. What do young people say these days? A higher riz? No, I'm joking.
You know what it is. I'm getting older as well. I'm about to turn 25, so I don't know what the young people
20,
say.
Okay, right. Hells, 25. Okay, you're going to send me on a rant here. Look, Dominate he's an incredible player from League of Legends. He is one of the most decorated players, you know, in the scene. He's played professional League of Legends in North America for a very long time. Incredible player. World stage, North America stage is fantastic. And Arteezy, hells, one of the most successful Dota players of all time. What else can you say about this guy? $2 million of prize money to his name.
Alright, Excalibur, and you guys don't have to wait at all, because we are immediately heading into the draft. And I'm just beyond excited to see this, because now you can see all of the names that are playing as well. You know, we got legends, including Yikes, Spraygles, starting, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are going to be familiar with these players. You know, Dove in Arteezy's team. These players are all players with a different background in different kinds of MOBAs, and they are all on top of the ladder of each of their respective games. And we're gathering all of them in Team Arteezy right here. And then looking over at Team I Will Dominate as well. We got Solo Zach, we got Star. Star is an incredible Honor of Kings player as well. And the thing about Solo Zach is, I'm not sure if he's going to play jungle in his team, but he's known to be very precise with his jungle pathing. And he's very, very quick as well. And then we got Pika as well. And that's a name that's familiar with me as well. You know, a very a player that just likes to play big engaging champions. Talking about big engaging champions, I saw I'm seeing some of them being hovered right here. And then Phil Umos, aka Phil, and this guy is basically there to be versatile and flex anywhere he has to go to.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said, you've got some incredible players on both rosters. I've known Starting for years. I was casting Starting in his first. I was casting you in my first mobile MOBA.
Right,
so,
yeah.
That's a long time ago now. Spraggles, obviously, I know him incredibly well. He's got a lot of Honor of Kings experience. He's a veteran MOBA pro. So, yeah, but we are getting some people locked in already. And what are you making of these team comps so far? You did mention to me that we were going to see this hero that got locked in from Solo Zag. I know it's probably not going to go to Solo Zag maybe, but you mentioned we were going to see him. He's one of the newer ones.
One of the stronger late game heroes in the game. He can go to level 25, by the way. He's the only hero that can go to level 25. And not only that, he can boost one of his teammates to also go to a potential level 25. And I really love the pick of Long alongside him. Because Long is also a very strong later game champion. And on the other side, we have the obvious Marco Polo. Marco Polo, he's always good. Every time I watch Honor of Kings, every time I play Honor of Kings, Marco Polo always seems to be on top of the ladder. I don't like the first pick Marco Polo myself. We're going to have to see how they're going to do it, how Team Arteezy is going to pull this off. Because you can't counter Marco Polo.
No, I agree. But there is an interesting pickup from Spraggles here. We've got Baiki, who is one of the new heroes, which is someone that I haven't seen a huge amount of. Obviously, someone that's only just recently been released. Tank heroes, so, you know, supposed to be tanky, supposed to be absorbing damage, take that frontline position. But I haven't seen much of Baiki yet, so I'm really excited to see how that translates into the draft.
I'm really excited as well, and I'm mostly excited to see how Zaya is gonna be played, which is also one of the newer heroes. He got released a couple of months ago on I Will Dominate side. It's just I have a feeling that this game is gonna be early game versus late game because you can apply a lot of pressure with Marco Polo and all of those types of champions, and you can't really apply as much pressure with the champions that are being picked on I Will Dominate side. They want to get to the late game, and that's what's going to make this a very, very interesting match because, ooh, that's a U1 though. That is also a later game scaling champion. Very, very interesting the way this draft is going. First it starts with early game champions, and then they're like, maybe we do want to have something to go back to into the later game.
Yeah, I think actually, this is my favorite hero.
Done.
Yeah, Done is my favorite hero. This is very early game aggression from Arteezy's team. You know, starting is my player. I think you've probably seen him for a long time play Mai at a very high level. Done is incredibly tanky, very early game focused, but obviously has some late game scaling. There's two heavy frontliners. I have a feeling that we're going to see the Arteezy team be heavy map pressure, heavy aggression, put pressure on before Dominate's team can scale.
100%. That's 100% what we're gonna see. I wonder how good both teams are gonna be because both these players have been the best in their respective games, right? Like, how good are they gonna be in this game, and how good are they gonna be as a team? Because this is not an individual game; this is a team game. And I'm just very curious to see how good these guys are gonna be together.
Yeah, no, you're bringing 5 players together who probably have never played from a variety of different MOBA backgrounds. This is going to be the telling situation. But Honor of Kings, it's fast-paced, it's heavy aggression, rewards, heavy roaming. They've introduced a lot of new things where you can launch yourself across the map now as well. So yeah, I'm kind of excited. Given Starting's experience too, he was professionally playing Honor of Kings for quite some time. You can imagine he's going to put a lot of pressure on in that mid lane, going to play around him as much as they can. It's done in the jungle as well. And Arteezy also playing a hard carry role, really, and that's what he kind of played in Dota. So excited to see that from him, kind of playing the same role that he played in Dota that he is now playing in Honor of Kings.
And interestingly, Arteezy is playing bot lane with Dove, which is his girlfriend, in case you didn't know. And I'm curious to see how good their synergy is.
Fiance, I think.
Fiance. Sorry, fiance. As of recently, turned into his fiance as well. We can see some aggression from both sides. Solo Zag is looking for a gank as well in bot lane.
Oh, Dove getting caught out there, has to flash away, get away from the action. You can see Pika playing quite an annoying support hero. Actually, one of my favorite support heroes because you can just run at people and smack them, and you can very little punish for it.
There it is.
Speaking of that, it's first blood that goes the way of Pika. Oh, love it.
You can run up and kill people, and that's exactly what happened. He did just that and got the first blood. He just walked up to him and he killed him. You cannot disrespect that champion.
Arteezy has to jump away, but once again gets taken out, and it is the later game scaling of Dominate's team that have already got the start that they want.
Oh wow, and Starting nearly picked up a kill in mid lane as well, but unfortunately was unable to finish it off. And look at the roaming from the side of I Will Dominate's team. The bot lane is in the mid lane. They swapped lanes.
Liu Shan, do you know what? That's why I love Liu Shan. Because you can just do that. You can just run at people, and then they're forced to jump away. Ah, brilliant.
Wow. What a game filled with action. This is a game packed with action already. And I have a feeling these players actually practiced a lot before starting to play the game. And we can see that already because they're not just playing it safe. They're not just playing it safe in their lanes. They're playing very, very aggressively in every single lane. The only lane that hasn't seen that much aggression is the lane I Will Dominate is playing against. He's facing Spraggles, and they're just both kind of playing it safe, not doing that much. But while I'm talking, bot lane is being very, very oppressive and very aggressive from Arteezy's side.
Yeah, but they've got Marco Polo, so they're going to want to try and be aggressive.
Whoa.
That is a really nice ult coming out there from Zia, but doesn't quite result in anything. So like looking for it, but here comes Pika once again. The knockout comes through.
Oh, wow.
And the ultimate spin to win from Liu Shan on Pika, and he picks up another kill onto Dove.
Oh, they're starting as well. He wants to punish Pika for getting so many kills on his team.
Doesn't quite convert, but here goes Marco Polo. Arteezy's jumping in. He's taking the fight, but can he go for it? Long forced to jump away.
But that's the beauty of Long, Excandro. You don't have to win the fight. You can just jump away, but
Yikes jumps in. This is why you have done in the jungle. You can make those big hooks and make those very early ganks. They don't quite convert, though. Heartbreak right now for Arteezy's team. They are not getting the conversions they're looking for.
The thing is, it's not that they're making mistakes, Excalibur, because Arteezy's team is being very aggressive. They're trying to make the plays. But the beauty of the picks on I Will Dominate's team is, oh, we got a kill from Dunn as well, invading the jungle.
He did. Dunn straight into there. He's trying to take down Pika at the moment. Dunn, very tanky. You have to be aware that even if you get him to low HP, he can regenerate super easily. He's going on to Zag, trying to take down Zia. Doesn't quite get there as Pika stops him down.
Oh my god!
Looks like Long and Dove traded somewhere on the bottom side of the map. And again, Dove just getting taken out on that bottom side. You see Starting's waiting in the wings. He jumps in, but gets caught out again by Yikes. There is Dunn. Trying to go in. Starting's there, but he gets taken out. Oh. And that is a beautiful turnaround. Phil Yomus takes out a double kill, and Long picks up another one for Star.
Star on that Long is playing like an absolute star. That was an easy one to make. I had to make it. But he definitely is. Because like I've played a lot of Long, and this guy is playing it perfectly. Long is a very difficult champion, I want to say, but a very rewarding champion if you're able to master him. And we can see what it looks like if you do get mastered. And right here, the first objective being picked up by I Will Dominate side. And Excalibur, this is looking very good for I Will Dominate side. Talking about gold leads, it is a mere 300 gold lead. But I want to remind you that this is a late game team against a somewhat early game team on Arteezy's side. And I Will Dominate's team is surviving very easily.
Yeah, Dominate himself on Dharma, getting really aggressive up against Spraggles in the top lane right here. He's having a pretty... This is a classic solo lane experience. People don't really interact with you. You just get on with it. Yeah, but he's having a great time up there on the time being. You have Starting in the mid lane. They finally pick up a kill, but it does go the way of Dove, not the person that you really wanted it on, and they don't get to convert onto Pika either. So just that one pickup. I think they actually lost Arteezy again to Star in the meantime, and it looks like the first tower is nearly going down. It does drop here, and Starting does get taken down low by Star for the time being. In the meantime, you do have Yikes going for another invade. They are taking Phil Yomus very low. Yikes really wants to make it happen, but does manage to escape, and you can already see that Pika is back on the field, and unfortunately Dove will pay the price once more. Yeah,
there's Long. He gets another kill, and wow, what's happening? You can see that the team of Arteezy is trying to make it happen. They keep trying to invade. Every single time they're trying to go in and they're trying to make the plays because they know if they don't, they're just going to lose the game. But this time it's Long actually invading, which is crazy considering Long is a later game champion. But they're just not able to punish I Will Dominate's team. And it seems like Arteezy may be caught off guard right here.
Yeah, Arteezy on the bottom side. No turret to reverse back to, and we'll get taken down again by Star. That HOK experience, the Honor of Kings Pro experience coming through. Rising Star. I mean, we keep saying Rising Star. He's literally called Star. But Rising Star coming through here, really, really carrying his team 5-0-1 and Long. And as you mentioned, has great late game scaling potential. Starting just not able to do too much of his team right now. And you can see, I think there's just a bit of a mismatch of game tactics right now for Arteezy's team. Although I say that, Yikes just picked up a kill on the top side of the map. They look like they took down Dominate with Spraggles. But it is just a kill going over to Dunn, who's not exactly going to powerhouse carry your game.
Yeah, Dunn is indeed not an exact powerhouse, as Excalibur says. He can sort of get you through the early game, which is exactly what Yikes is trying to do. But he's in a bit of a fight here. But this is the power of Dunn. When he gets low, he can sustain, but he actually didn't quite sustain.
No, he didn't, and Starting tried to pick up a kill. As 2 for 1 at the moment, which is not a bad situation if you're Starting's team, but you have to get back on the map pretty quickly right now. As mentioned, we don't have that much time. Long able to use that ult just to get out, put himself back to safety. Pika wants a bit of a fight, though. This has been one of the most aggressive supports that we've seen. You can kind of do that, as we mentioned with Liu Shan. You're a very aggressive support. You're designed to take a bit of damage. And they're posturing right now around that Overlord, just seeing whether that's an objective that they're thinking about taking. They don't have topside control right now, so it's going to be a difficult objective for Dominate's team to really secure, although they all are jumping to that side of the map. Looks like they're trying to take down Spraggles.
He tries to escape.
He does almost escape here, but I think Yomus does get the job done. However, not set up to go and immediately convert into an objective.
Oh, and we got Pika engaging again. This guy is an absolute menace. He's not only being a tank, but he's doing the killing himself, as you can see. He goes in, and he doesn't just tank, he just kills the person himself, and Long just picks up the kill for free.
I mean, that is one of the benefits of Liu Shan. We have yet another fight going on. This time, starting jumps in. They're trying to.
Oh, there's the sustain! There's the sustain!
Turn around.
There it is.
Yikes. Just as you said, done with the regenerating HP. He is so tricky. But starting, buddy, what are you doing?
Ooh, you cannot get caught by Long like that. Long has capabilities to execute the enemy based on missing out, and starting just completely disrespected Star right there. Just the fact that Star has half your name doesn't mean he has half your skills, so he just died for no reason, and they lose the big mid lane turret right there.
They're straight up going for the Overlord in a 2 versus 3.
Yikes is trying to get it.
He's trying to smite it. He gets it. He smites it down, and that will be an escape. He jumps, pulls himself over the wall. Unfortunately, Dove put herself in the firing line here, but will manage to jump away, or actually walks back into the fight.
Beautiful ultimate by Dove right there. She avoided everything.
Yeah. I think she will be able to actually bait the fight. She baited the fight, and now starting wants some. Does get immediately cleaned up, but Yikes, I'll have to say, Yikes is carrying his team right now. He is really popping off on Dunn. I did mention, I don't know if Dunn's going to be able to carry the game.
He's trying to sneak it. Ortiz trying to sneak it, Excalibur. Is he going to be able to get it? I don't think so.
I think he's going to get killed.
Oh no!
And he has just gifted over the the tyrant back over to the Dominates team.
Oh, and there's Yikes again. He just keeps going. He just keeps going. He doesn't want to let down. And I want to talk about this as well, Excalibur, because Solo Zac on that Xayah is nearly level 14, and the moment he reaches level 15, that's when he starts upgrading his ultimate. And the upgraded ultimate is extremely powerful, and not only that, he's gonna be able to upgrade one of his teammates as well. And I'm gonna take a wild guess that it's gonna be Long that is gonna be upgraded. The way it works is the Long is gonna be able to go to level 25 in this game. So the later it gets, the worse this will get for RTZ.
We've got another bit of a fight here around mid lane. They are gonna.
Oh, there he goes again, Pika.
The engage comes through. Pika looking for it once again. He does do damage to towers, and they're taking it down. So there's no respite for Starting's team as they get taken low. 2 people already down. It is a double kill for Phil Yumu's as they're doing their best to hold on near their base. But it is Yikes once again, the man holding his team together by the skin of his teeth, and he's keeping them in.
Oh, another one!
Triple. He's going for more. It's a quadra, baby.
He's gonna get him.
He really wants this final hit, and Dominate forced to run away on Dharma. He'll get behind the tower, but Yikes, baby, with a quadra kill.
He's doing it on Dunn. Oh, he goes for the penta. Oh man, he has even more gold than Star on that Long, and he just keeps invading. And Dominate is trying to look for a fight, but is that a good idea? I don't think so.
I don't think it's a good idea either, Dominate. You're looking at a Dunn with 7.9k gold versus your 5k, so he is stacked up at the moment, and it really is a Yikes versus a Star fight for the time being. Both of them at similar amounts of gold, but as you mentioned, Star does have that benefit of Xayah able to help boost his potential in this game.
And right here we can see Arteezy's team is trying to make plays all around the map, pushing top, pushing bot, but a big fight is happening here.
A massive fight around the Tyrant right now as they're going in.
Arteezy.
It is going to be a first takedown going down over towards Pika, but he gets dropped by Dunn, who is still just unkillable on that front line for the time being. It's going to be yet another pickup, a double kill for the Dunn. Long forced to jump away, and Spraggles in the meantime, he's not even in the bloody fight. He's at the top lane taking towers, and Yikes somehow by himself on Dunn is carrying this game.
And Starting just picked up another kill on I Will Dominate as well on the bot lane. I really love how Team RTZ is playing this, because they know that they're incredibly powerful right now. Spragos, however, is likely gonna die against Star because Long just does a lot of damage. But while I'm speaking, Starting is trying to save him, but unfortunately unable to save him. So let's talk about how both these teams are playing. We can now see that the team from RTZ's side, they know that they're strong enough 4v5, and that is due to Yikes being extremely powerful on that Dunn. He has so much gold, so many items, and just the way his hero works allows him to just dominate the team all by himself. They're using this to apply pressure on the other side of the map as well, and now they finally gotten a 2,000 gold lead. We can see both teams, they're kind of lingering around the Overlord, and it's going to be a very important objective, of course, but I'm smelling a fight, Excalibur.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Overlord's already been started up here. They're a little bit late to the party. I think they're not going to get there in time as it already gets taken down by Phil, who they are just using Pika to distract. And Yikes, you need to be in the front line, soaking the damage, dealing the damage. You are the only man that can make this work for your team. In the meantime, the rest of his squad are getting cleaned up, and this is just not the setup that they would have wanted to make this work. Although I do say, I think Spraggle's picked some people up on the top side, and starting himself on low HP has picked up a killing spree. Now, obviously, we are now dealing with map pressure coming out from the Overlord here, Hells, but not a bad fight. It's not like it is lost at this point in time for the Dominate team. They're actually, Arteezy's team, they're actually ahead in gold.
That was a surprisingly decent fight. Yeah, that was surprisingly decent. Now we got the pressure from the Overlord indeed. The thing about the Overlord is, the later we get into the game, the bigger the pressure is going to be. And we are already quite a decent amount into the game. We got a bit of anti-heal build by Solo Zag as well, which is going to be very, very important against that Yuhuan. Because again, the later we get into the game, the bigger of a problem Yuhuan is going to become as well. So they just want to shut down that healing. Since, you know, since Team I Will Dominate has the actual late game composition. We can see the same thing here again. We can see Spragos is split pushing because they just know their team is strong enough. They don't need everyone, but while I say that, Pika goes in.
Yeah, Starting gets caught again, double knockup, forced to jump away. That's a lot of resources expended for Starting. And Yikes thinks this is his moment. The triple knockup once again as Dominate does his best to distract. He gets picked off by Duff. This is the turnaround fight from Yikes. He's going to jump in when he has that hook available, but I think everybody able to escape for the time being. And again, it's a little bit scary from Arteezy's team, but Arteezy himself throwing himself out into the front line, but they really need Yikes to be on that front line doing the engaging. He does manage to catch out, it looks
Phil
like
goes in.
Phil, but he doesn't manage to get a kill. And they are just trying to clean him up wherever they can. It is Arteezy going 1-for-1 with Pika. The shutdown actually comes down onto Starting for Pika, which is not ideal, but nonetheless, I mean, it's still holding on, and it still feels relatively even in these fights for the time being.
It's very much even. And we can see that I Will Dominate and Arteezy are getting a big reality check of how difficult Honor of Kings can be. Because these are high quality games, Xcando. These are great players. We can see some big items being picked up as well. I love Arteezy's build right here. He picked up that item that can stun the enemy. Now if Arteezy gets one good engage, Marco Polo is the type of champion. One good engage can change the whole game around. He can just turn it all around, carry the whole fight. With that big true damage, it's going to be very powerful against Pika as well. So we're going to have to see how these later game team fights are going to go. Xayah already on level 17, and as I said, he gave his passive to Star on that long. He's also on his way to level 17. So now the later this game will get, the stronger they get. And they're just waiting for a fight right here.
They are waiting for a brother. They're jumping onto Yikes. That's not the person that you want. He's not going to go down easily. He gets a beautiful knock up again, straight onto the back line. Now going over to Dominate, who gets taken down low. Arteezy picks up that kill. Yikes as well, just trying to peel for his team for the time being. It's Phil Yomos will be the target, but he does manage to escape. Pika now the focus for the linchpin.
Oh, there it is.
The Arteezy team, and it's legendary for Yikes, Starting still alive for the time being too, and we have that Tyrant, the Shadow Tyrant, just having spawned. He jumps over the wall onto Solo. He gets taken down. Legendary from Yikes, and they are going straight for the Tyrant. Phil Yomos is there. He's trying to stop them. He gets taken down pretty low for the time being, but will escape as the hook comes over the wall. Beautiful stuff from Yikes as they get duped back.
Longest full HP.
The river.
Longest full HP.
Full HP. He's looking for his angle. They're going to go on to the Tyrant. Long
does
get
boy.
Beautiful. That is an ult to escape straight away as Phil gets taken down low. He's going to jump back somewhere in a minute, you feel, but gets knocked up over the wall. They're going to go back to the Tyrant. Here comes Dominate on Dharma. Don't think he's going to do much. Yikes himself, 13-1-5. This is the man to watch right now, Hells.
And Xcando, this is a game-winning objective that we have right now. Because on top of a massive buff, you're gonna basically have, like, you have the Overlord and the Tyrant at the same time, but they're buffed. So this is a big objective for Team Arteezy, and we're gonna have to see how Team I Will Dominate is gonna deal with that.
Yeah, Spraggles jumps over to Phil Yomos, tries to take him down pretty low. He is doing his best to put one of the biggest threats out of the game already. Here comes Yikes as well, the linchpin of this composition, like we've said. On the backline, though, Long has already done a lot of work. Dominate as well, putting pressure onto Arteezy. Actually, Yikes in the wrong position for the time being. The rest of his team getting cleaned up as Dove also gets taken down. Can Yikes 1v4 versus Pika? He's going to start that fight up. We're going to see how it goes.
Oh, Yikes.
By himself. He's getting stun CC'd for the time being.
Oh, he's dead.
Anti-heal now, and he's dead. That is a big deal for Arteezy's team.
Oh, and the objective I was talking about actually spawns a little bit later. This is just a late game Tyrant and a late game Overlord. But we have another fight happening, and Starting just gets killed.
Yeah, this might be GG, to be honest with you, Hells. I think we've got enough time. And one
With
of
the
better,
Overlord as well.
Yeah, with one of the better heroes in the game being Pika. Obviously, great versus structures. Looks like they're going to go for it. They are going to end the game and take the first game for Dominate. Yikers did his best here, Hells, but it just wasn't enough.
Wow, what an amazing game. I really thought they would be able to pull through, but it turned into the late game, and the game was just over. Game is just over. As you can see, they played a phenomenal game. Both sides, we got Star and Phil Umos mainly carrying the team, but everyone just played together really, really well. And in combination, they were actually able to pull off the win, even though it looked like they wouldn't be able to kill Yikes ever.
That was incredible. I think once they picked up some anti-heal, though, you really nullify a lot of what Dun can do. Like Dun is great in the early game and sort of into the mid game, especially if you're not prioritizing anti-heal, because he just has so much regenerative capability. But once they picked up a little bit of that, it made it a little easier to take down Yikes, and then they were able to focus him with stun, crowd control. But I just think that one of the bigger issues that we had there, Hells, was just the coordination from Arteezy's team. No one really felt, all the way through the game, I don't know if you felt the same way, just didn't quite feel like they had the same game plan, It didn't really feel like they were quite on the same page.
Yeah, it didn't feel like they were quite on the same page indeed, but I loved watching this. And now for me, the more interesting part is like, how is this going to look like in the second game and in the third game? Are we going to see a different strategy or whatever? We got the MVP as well, which is going to be Star. He played a phenomenal game on that long, and yeah, he pulled through. They all played really well, but I would give the MVP to Star.
Yeah, I think Star played incredible, and I think I'd love to give it to Yikers. I really would.
They lost, unfortunately.
I know they lost. I think Star was definitely the correct call.
All right, we're just quickly gonna head into a trailer and be ready because we're just about to head into the next game as well.
Innkeeper, huh? This is from the guest upstairs. Huh? My, I'm rich. He said it was a repayment. Huh?
Innkeeper, I'd like to take that off your hands. Name your price. Come on, indulge me.
Sorry to keep you waiting. Here.
Interesting.
Northern Brook. Where's the man? Let the 12 houses keep it safely. Let's spare the world another bloodbath.
You'll have to ask my blade.
Fine, I'll play your game. After all your travels, you couldn't even buy a decent sword?
Silence!
You have skills, but I see plenty of openings.
Not bad, Master of the House of Riches.
Want it back?
Let's get out of here!
Sorry!
Read the manual!
Come on, we're just playing around. Why so serious?
This concerns the good of the martial world. You can't have the book!
Hello, mate? You prestigious schools talk a big game, but you're all just making excuses for yourself. You're still here?
Not good. It's a fake!
You're playing with us.
Illusion magic! Run! If only I had an opening here, this would never have happened!
Those tears of a broken heart, broken spirits restless in the dark. There's no point to resist. We'll get the secrets after.
Magic. Despicable!
That's why Megan keeps the marshal menu for himself. For that treasure. I see. It's with the sword.
Quiet! The manual is already back out in the world! Yeah!
Alright, we're back. And I can announce something very exciting for you guys as well, because we're gonna have a lot of giveaways during today's stream. And for the first giveaway, all you have to do to enter is just put something in the chat. And what you have to put in the chat is HOK High 5 Day. Everything one after the other. You're gonna be entering for a giveaway to win the new hero card for the new hero by key. We're giving away 200 of them, so you have a very big chance to win. Just put it in the chat, HOK High 5 Day, and you've entered the giveaway. So talking about next game, Alexandro, I'm now even more excited for next game because I really thought Team Arteezy would win that. I genuinely thought they would be able to pull through, and then that happened. It just happened. They lost.
Yeah, I don't know. It was one of those things where actually it felt like it was Yikes versus Yikes versus 5 players. He was really going crazy on Dunn that game. I don't think that will go through the ban phase. I don't know whether that'll make it through the.
He's gonna have something else though. He's gonna have something else. Let's be real.
Have something else. I mean, like I said, Dunn is my favorite hero in the entire game. He's my most played hero in Honor of Kings. That's the reason why he's very good for that reason. But yeah, no, I genuinely thought there was a turnaround point there for Arteezy's team. You know, all driven by how powerful Yikes was in those team fight situations. I think what needs to happen for Arteezy's team is to shore up that bot lane. For Arteezy and Dove just to be a little more play a little more safe, play a little more passive. They are playing into Star and Pika, who are incredible HOK players, right? Like
we saw last game, yeah.
yeah. They've got very good Honor of Kings experience. I mean, and Star himself is one of the rising stars of the game. So I think for Arteezy and Dove, like just play a little safer, play a little chill. You're playing into the really tough side of the map, whereas Spraggles and Dominate, they were a bit chill. We didn't actually get to see much of by key last game because we didn't spend any time on the solo side of the map.
We didn't have time to spend on the solo side, dude. We had an invade from Yikes. We had Pika diving the turret all the time. We had starting roaming around 24/7. They were playing very safe in the top side of the map. We see that quite often, playing weak side top laners. They both play it very safe, but I'm just so surprised at that game. I'm so surprised that neither team played it safe. I'm just so surprised that they all went all in. That they just, they were like, we're going all or nothing. We're not gonna play this safe.
I love it. That's the way you should be playing. Just go at it. Yeah, I think with Arteezy, the biggest things were just shore up that duo lane, your carry lane. Just make sure that you're looking after yourself, not getting into too many early fights, and then try and make sure that whatever's happening, there's a strong shot cooler. Just strong shot cooler on the bottom side of the map. Hello there. Strong shot cooler on the bottom side because you need to make sure that someone's just there. Keeping the team on one page, right?
Yeah,
they just didn't feel like the one page. Whereas the Dominate's team, like they played a really strong, solid game. Like they left Dominate on an island, they left him to do his own thing, didn't really invest too many resources into him, which I think makes sense. They played very heavily around Star, which I think was the play when you're playing long.
Even with their mid lane pick, because the mid lane pick allowed him to go beyond level 15.
Yeah, exactly. And then they obviously had Youmu's, who's a great player as well. So they kind of played very heavily around their bottom 3 side of the map, and that kind of worked really heavily in their favor, and I think was great overall.
100%. So we're just about to get into the next draft as well, and it's a bit difficult to ask after one game, but what kinds of picks and bans are we expecting? Do we really think that Dunn is gonna get banned? Because I really feel like Yikes is just gonna be able to pull off another hero, and he's gonna do the same thing.
Yeah, no, I think I don't know. We'll have to see. I mean, I'm interested in whether by key goes through again. And obviously, speaking of by key again, just to remind you guys, you can put HOK High 5 Day in. I think you
have to put it in the game.
Right? Yeah, you have to redeem it in game, right? Correct. So you go into game. I think you can go onto the bottom left hand corner and find the redeeming option. Only 200 though, so you have to get it before
Gotta
anyone
be
else does.
quick.
So make sure you go and grab it, and you'll be able to get yourself a Bikey trial card. Which, like we said, we just saw him. He looked really cool. We just didn't get to see him in action much because we weren't focusing on the solo side of the map. But yeah, make sure you redeem it in game, guys. Go and grab as many of those as you can. We will have more giveaways as well. So we've got 2 more potentially to come your way. So make sure you're keeping an eye on that. But for the time being, just go HOK High 5 Day, all one word.
Oh yeah. Put it in the game, claim your free trial card, and play him as well. Let's see if you can do a better job than Spragos playing him. Spragos was struggling a little bit with him. I'm joking. But we're about to head into the draft, and just as I say that, the draft has been started. And bans. Picks and bans.
Yes.
There it is.
Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. I don't know. Dunn is. I don't think Dunn's.
I don't think he's gonna get banned, dude. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a problem by itself, right? I just think it's just that for whatever reason that mid game was able to get tanked through by just how well Yika's played. That's a very common ban.
Yeah, these are common bans. These are bans we expect because this is a support that allows hyper carrying. She's named Yaria. She can jump on top of you and just buff you, and it's very, very dangerous when you have someone that's very good, like Yikes in your team, that just nearly 1v9'd without Yaria, right?
Interesting, we actually see our TC's team ban Miyu, which was the hero that Yomu's played. Obviously a slippery hero, difficult to lock down, difficult to kill. And I think Phil was actually really annoying that whole game.
Yeah, he was able to be super slippery throughout these fights. We saw him use multiple ultimates, just get away all the time. So I completely understand that ban.
Okay.
No Dun ban, by the way, Xcander.
Not yet, no.
Do you feel like they're gonna pick it, or are they really gonna leave it open to Yikes again? I genuinely think they're gonna leave it open again. There is long. This is the one I expected. Yeah.
They're actually target banning a lot of Dominate's composition, whereas Dominate not really doing the same over towards the team. They've got Yikes in first pick. I wonder if Yikes has Dun open, he just locks it. Because Dun is very, very... You can play him in the support role, you can play him in the solo lane, and you can play him on the... in the jungle, so he's a really, really, really flexible. They're going to go for, again, though, one of the newer ones, the... why's the name just escaped me? Help me out, House.
Was it the new hero, the Bikey?
Yeah, Zias. Oh, no, they hovered Zia, but they actually locked in Bikey themselves. Yeah. And yeah, there we get them. Oh, no, we get Sun C. So Sun
and
C
Hanshin as well.
Yeah, Hanshin and Sun C, so we get Mr. Boat. Mr. Boat comes into the game. I love Mr.
Dude,
Boat.
it's sort of the same playstyle now, isn't it? Like, isn't this again? They're trying to invade the enemy, being super aggressive. It's the same thing.
We got Eren, by the way.
I love Eren, by the way. This is my favorite ADC. Eren, easily my favorite. And let me talk about Eren because I love playing her so much. Eren is a late game scaling ADC. She has a massive ultimate. And when she activates that ultimate, she will kill anyone in her path. But yet again, Xcander, late game, it's the same thing. We see no difference. This is late game as well. So they want to get into the late game again. And you're playing against Hanshin. Hanshin with massive pressure early game. Same story.
Yep. Yeah, same story. And also you've got Li Jin as well. So Li Jin gets locked in for Dominate's team, and again, kind of a scaling pick once again. It can be pretty strong in the laning phase, but generally considered like quite a strong scaling fighter. We have once again Mai getting locked in for starting, so had a relatively okay performance, a little bit muted compared to previous, but yeah.
The thing about Li Xin is that it can be played 2 different ways. He has 2 different playstyles, 2 different forms, I should say. And it's going to be interesting to me to see which form is he going to take. Is he going to take the light form? That is going to scale to the late game, have a lot of poking, or is he going to take the red form, the dark form, that has big fighting? It's like a big bruiser. If he picks the red form, he could actually take on Yaikas and fight him in a 1v1. So it's going to be interesting to see which form he actually decides to play. And Dominate on the same hero, he decides to pick the same thing. And yeah.
We have a Diadia. I have not seen much Diadia actually. So this is a mage, a little bit kind of like a supportive mage, so it has a little bit of healing in it so as well. So I'm interested to see. This is very, very supportive, kind of a healing hero on the side of our TZ's team. I guess it's going to go over to Dove. And then Dominate just sticking with what he knows in the form of Dharma. We also then have, as you can see, looks like we're having a Dahlia locked in once again.
Dahlia is also extremely annoying to deal with. Just so much damage with those with her abilities. And we're gonna have to see how Arteezy's team is gonna deal with that. Because the thing about it is, starting in the early game with Mai is gonna struggle a little bit. Oh! Are we gonna see that? Okay, no way. Yeah, because starting is gonna struggle in the early game to survive in the lane with Mai. And someone like Dahlia can really punish Mai in the mid lane.
Oh no, they do go for Garo.
That's Garo.
Interesting.
Also a late game ADC ex-counter. We got 2 incredible late game ADCs being picked. Oh man. This
They banned they did ban Liu Shan this time round. Interesting that they banned Han Jin. But obviously
they picked Han Jin.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, that's what I mean. They didn't. No one's gone for Arlie. I thought someone would go for Arlie.
Yeah, Arlie is actually the best ADC in competitive. But then we're talking about like proper competitive, right? The thing about Arlie is it's such a difficult ADC to play well. But if you do play her well, then you're just gonna destroy enemies. But I'm more excited about Erin. This is my favorite ADC, and I'm sure you guys are gonna love watching it as well. Because this ADC, if she just gets to the late game, she will run down the enemy. But the thing is, Garo does the same thing. And I'm just curious which one is going to be able to actually carry the game, and what is Yikes going to be able to do.
Youmu's is on. Youmu's playing by key in the jungle as well. So we're going to see a lot more. We'll be able to see a lot more of what's going on this time round with Baiki.
Yeah, that's very interesting. We're going to see him fight a lot more. And on the top side, we got Dharma against the Sun Chi. And
yeah, looks like we've actually got Dove coming up to support Spraggles on Sun Chi for the time being.
And Pika doing Pika things. He's in the river, which buffs Dahlia, by the way, and he's perfectly utilizing that to do just a tad bit more damage in that small fight.
Yeah, and they've just left Arteezy kind of getting zoned away. Looks like Arteezy's just not looking to engage, using his longer range to try and snipe out as much of the creep as possible and CS as much as he can. Looks like another little bit of a fight on the top side of the map here.
Yeah, should be okay. Dahlia doesn't do that much damage. Dharma was not close as well. Doesn't look like it's gonna be as aggressive of a game as was last game, Excalibur. But this is more of a scaling one, and that makes it very interesting to me as well. We're gonna see a completely different playstyle in this game.
Arteezy sniped the jungle creep there.
Wow.
So good little snipe, takes that away from Youmu's, and that gives him a little bit extra sustain in lane. Like that from him. Is starting, he's in the mid lane, very low, taking down Solo Zag to low HP. Solo Zag, by the way, playing mid lane Li Jin, which is not something that I've seen a huge amount of.
I've never seen that, Excalibur. I've never seen mid lane Li Jin.
Yeah, it means he's probably playing the light form though, right? So he's not going to be playing the dark form, because that's much more. First blood comes through from somewhere. Arteezy just gets caught up by a gank coming out from Youmu's, and that's going to be another quick start here for our star player in the form of Star, as Starting tries to get into the bot side of the map, but can't quite do anything.
We've made jokes about Star's name 3 times already, Excalibur. We've used up everything.
There's a fight on the top side of the map right now, and looks like Spraggle's desperately trying to go in 2v1, but it is another pickup.
Another pickup by Erin.
It looks like they traded 1-for-1 though. Yikes trades onto the jungler. So again, like you said, Han Jin, he can be really aggressive in the early game, and he's power farming. I think we're just going to see Yikes doing the same game plan. Knows that he's going to have to do a lot of the work himself this game, and he's just like powering gold onto himself.
This is a completely different game in a sense where both supports are going to the top side of the map to support the top laners. So last game we saw a bit of a weak side top lane. Yumos was trying to do a bit of an engage but unable to pick up the kill. But we can see both ADCs are being left alone in the bot side of the map. And Erin is dealing with a gank right here. Ooh, gets picked up by the Han Shin. And this is very important for Arteezy's team because they have to shut down that Erin.
Yes, go Arteezy. No, actually, you can see Dominate taking super low on the Dharma. They can't quite convert
He's
either.
alive.
Spraggle's desperately trying to pick up that kill, but they can't. It is a lot, I've got to say, a lot more promising from Arteezy's team this time round in the early game.
Oh yeah, and I would say this is also better played by Dominate's team, because the fact that Pika is now in Dominate's lane, and we're not seeing as aggressive plays now because of that, obviously, because he's in that lane and he's picking a bit of a more supportive champion, but we can see that Dominate is doing a lot better in his lane now, and he's actually able to fight off Spraggles on that Sun Chi.
Yeah, Spraggle's kind of able to kind of hold his own there, and you can see here comes Pika into that bot side on Dahlia. Doesn't have as much of that engage. Like, not as much
there's the ultimate.
Oh, the ultimate does come through here. Can't quite find the kills, and no engage coming through just yet. But Hanjin there now, lovely knock up onto the bottom side of the map, but they have to get out because they don't have the HP to work with. As Lee Jin also comes in, Dove desperately trying to get away, and Will with a sliver of HP, and they do escape for the time being. Close.
Oh, there is the engage from Yikes.
Well, Yike is looking for it, but just can't quite find it for the time being. And again, back to being efficient in the jungle. You can see how efficient Yike is being right now.
No one died during that entire exchange. What an incredible fight. It was a massive 4 versus 4 fight, and no one ended up dying. And that is just because of the picks that are being picked this game. We have champions that are scaling that just cannot secure kills as well. I love this Lee Sin skin, by the way. That's so beautiful.
RTZ is mega dead.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, that's a 3-man gank right there. And it seems like they're trying to do the same thing on I Will Dominate on the opposite side of the map.
Exactly. At least, very least, they're going for the Overlord for the time being. So it looks like they're going to try and take the Overlord. Looks like they're trading, though. Phil Yomi's going for the Tyrant for the time being. They get the first tower of the game, too. Dominate will drop down, and they will trade on the opposite side of the map here, Hells. So pretty good tempo, but they do lose the mid lane tower, too. That's brutal, actually. That opens up so much of the map for Dominate's team.
Completely worth for Dominate's team, by the way, because I Will Dominate is a mere top laner. Top laners don't generally carry the game as much. But killing Aaron is a lot better. So Arteezy's team got a lot more out of that. And even though they lost the mid lane turret, they did end up getting more out of that.
Oh, starting Dove goes down to Lee Jin. You do not want to feed the Lee Jin if you can help it. And actually Arteezy a little bit out of position once more, gets caught out. And that is Yomu's picking up yet another kill. It looks like, honestly, Yikes is just taking matters into his own hands. He's avoiding his team. He's counter jungling. He's taking mid lane towers down low. He's desperately leveling up. He knows that he is going to be the man to turn this around, and he is denying resources away from Phil Yomi's for the time being.
And he's currently sitting on 4,000 gold. He's not quite ahead, but he's not behind. He's just sitting right on top. He's doing all right. And I'm sure very, very soon, right now, he's going to engage and he's going to pick up a kill.
Oh, that's a good kick out from Yikes for the time being. He's going to get healed up nicely a little bit there as well. And Yike is now looking for his opportunity to go into Phil Yomus, who's actually kind of isolated for the time being. Arteezy's looking for the fight, but it will jump in and just straight up die. They're going to get a re-engage coming through. This is up to Yikes, but he can't quite make it happen for the time being. Spraggles gets a beautiful ult, but no one's able to convert it except himself. Spraggles converts himself. The hero, the man, the myth, the legend, joined by Yikes. And Yikes able to pick up a couple of kills to get himself going. And Spraggles, the unlikely hero there, sets up a great team fight.
Absolutely, Spraggles. That was the one that made the play with the Sun Chi, engaging, picking up a kill, and tanking so much, just allowing his team to win that fight. That was beautifully played, Alexander, just as you said. And we can see these fights are very, very close. And it's just curious, this game, because like there's only a 1,000 gold lead between the teams, which really doesn't matter that much, especially considering that both teams want to scale into that late game. No one is particularly ahead, except for Yikes. He's currently sitting on like 1,000 gold lead over anyone, which is very good for him, of course. And now we can see him try to convert that into the win.
And he's going for another kill. It's godlike for Yikes. He's going to try and take this blue buff as well. He is 2 levels up almost on his opposing jungler. Yomu's just hit 10. There's an engage going on. Yikes jumps over the wall here. Tries to actually, he wants the blue buff more than he wants the fight. He jumps back in. He's there for Phil Yomus, but knows he can't convert. He says, team, what are you doing? I just wanted the blue buff, guys.
Oh my god, we're seeing some crazy invades happening right now. See, now we're approaching the later stage of the game. During the early game, we didn't see much happening from both teams because they were playing it safe, trying to farm up. But now we can see that Yikes is making the plays happen, but not only him, also on the other side, players are falling from both sides. This is a close game, Alexandro. This is a really close game.
This is a bloodbath. They are going for it. But once again, a similar storyline emerging here, Hells. It is a Star versus Yikes game. That is the storyline that we're once again getting. In the meantime, the top side of the map, you can see Solo Zag just forced to back away. He's running away, doesn't want to get caught up in that fight. Yikes, once again, what I love about what Yikes is doing here is he is not wasting time. If he doesn't think there's anything to be had messing around near a fight in the mid lane, he's off to farm a side lane. He's off to farm a jungle camp. He's off to make sure he's getting as much gold per second as he physically can. And I love that about what he's doing right now.
Oh yeah, I love that as well, and it is working out for him really, really well. However, Star on that Aaron is actually able to keep up with Yikes. So there's the Sanchi ultimate. There's the Sanchi ultimate. He's going for it.
He's going in, and that's a really nice engage, but they do lose one for the time being. Is right now Spraggle's by himself in the front line. I actually think Yikes just said not gonna fight this.
He's
He's actually
starting.
doing his own jungle, and the entire team now getting chased down in their own jungle as Yikes jumps back into the fight. Doesn't want to engage too far into it though. And it's just going to go back to farming the jungle. Farming the jungle was way more important than team fighting, Hells. I hope you know that.
Yeah, that was a 4 versus 4, but a 4 versus 4 without Yikes is basically signing your death, because Yikes by himself picks up a kill on Solo Zac right there as well. It is really a team that has to play around Yikes. And I really hope that the next Sanchi engage is going to be around Yikes. He's sitting on level 13, nearly level 14, Excalibur. That is insane 9 minutes into the game.
Is absolutely disgustingly good. And now he goes in again. We've got the Tyrant fight coming up, and Yikes knows the position that he's in right now, and he picks up a kill with Spraggles, who's been, in my opinion, a bit of an unsung hero for this team as he's again finding the engage. Does go down for it, but it doesn't matter. Arteezy's caught out. And it looks like I think Yikes really just wanted to go for the Tyrant here. He's taking a lot of damage for it. I don't think he's going to be able to get this down, and will be forced to back away. Not quite the play I think he was hoping his team to make. I think he would either looking to cycle off and go for the Tyrant, but may look to counter engage here as they go in onto Solo Zac. Yikes gets taken down. That's a big pickup here for Dominate's team, and they will pick up potentially 2 massive game objectives. As you can see, Starting does get the kill. He's 2-1-5, nowhere near as powerful as his counterpart.
Yeah, it doesn't matter because the objective goes over to I will dominate Steam, and that is the main things you have to play around, of course. These objectives are the things that are going to win you the games. Not the kills, not the turrets, it's the objectives that in the long run are going to be able to set your team ahead and win you the game. And now we can see Dominate is trying to farm that red buff for his team. Meanwhile, Aaron picks up that kill with the big ultimate I was talking about, right? He's level 13 right now, maxed his ultimate, and now that ultimate will really start to hurt on the side of I will dominate team. And as you can see, Star is just farming. He's trying to steal away from Yikes, and there is another ult! There it is!
Oh, disgusting. Star just absolutely battered him in his own jungle. And it just feels like Hanjin, a little bit more fragile, a little bit more easy to take down than the counterpart was in Dun. And I think Yikes may have lost that crucial edge that he needed.
Oh, Spraggles is under his turret. Oh no.
They're proxy farming here, but I mean, Aaron is just way too strong at this point. Way too strong, and you can see nothing they can really do about it. I feel like at this point, Dominate's team have the game in their hands. They are now pushing down to that second tier turret, diving it even, and going to take down Starting at the same time. This is a dominant display. It was great from Yikes for the meantime, but again, Hanjin not one of those picks that can really just, unless you're like really ahead, doesn't feel like he can do the same impact that some of the other picks could have done.
Wow. This is just, as you can see, Star on that Aaron is not even allowing them to get close. And they do still try to get close, and the reason Yikes went in is because Aaron had just used her ultimate. Really well-timed engage, but unfortunately she's just way too strong. And she's just about to use another ultimate, I can tell you that already, and just pick up another kill. Oh, there's the Sanchi! Spraggles going in!
Sanchi from the downtown, baby! And it's going to be a kill onto Sanchi, but not before a bit of damage is done on the backline here. And I think Hanjin wants to make this happen. They can't quite find the engage. Yike's waiting for it, looking for his opportunity. They can see a good angle to go for, but can't quite make it happen. You can see Yike's by himself, and it is now Star versus the world. He hasn't got a lot of HP. He will get taken down low, and another killing spree goes over to Aaron and Star. An absolute beast. They may be able to push straight down the middle now and go straight for the win.
Oh my god, Star, he was the MVP last game and it's looking like he's gonna be the MVP this game. So this guy is just carrying the game so hard. We're 13 minutes in and he's just ending the game. 2-0 for Team I Will Dominate. Right here and there.
Absolute beast. Absolute beast in the form of Star. I think really you just have to look at him again as the, I would say the MVP of this game, Hells.
Shall I go over there? Is it a surprise?
I don't think it's a surprise.
It's Star, of course.
I think he was too good. He was too good. I mean, he really was just an absolutely excellent pick.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking like, how are you gonna deal with this? How are you gonna deal with this? What are you gonna do against Star? Because at this point, I feel like you really have to come up with something to win against him. Because he carried last game on Long, and now he carries this game on Aaron.
I feel like you need way more targeted crowd control. Need something that you can just point, tap at them and just get him locked down, maybe make him a target. But I think what I'm feeling with Dominate's team is that everyone is a bit more of a, the team is a bit more complete. Everyone's a bit more capable, I guess, on an individual level as well. Whereas you really look at RTZ's team, and it's very much like the Yikes show. It's Yikes and Starting's helping out a little bit on the sidelines, but it's very much the Yikes show. So I just feel like Dominate's team are a bit more cohesive. They're playing together better as a team. Dominate's playing to his role really well as well, like just playing weak side. Like Dominate is just playing weak side by himself. Knows that's his role. He's wave clearing, joining the team when he needs to, but the rest of his team, cohesive. Phil Yomus is driving the tempo of the game. And Yikes, I think, playing better jungle overall. I think if you choose the MVP jungler, it's Yikes, but his team just aren't able to play around him enough. And I think that's one of the problems.
100%. And something else I want to mention as well, which is extremely exciting that is currently happening in Honor of Kings. Until the 7th of May, you guys are all going to have unrestricted access to all 97 heroes and 172 purchasable skins. You can play all of them, have your fun. This is only phase 1, because there's also going to be another phase between the 10th of May and the 28th of May. So you're going to have like 2.5 weeks. There's going to be a whole lot of free skins to get. There's going to be returned limited time skins. There's going to be massive discounts of like 70 to 90% and daily free point draws. And there's just a lot. There's going to be exclusive coupons as well. Right now, there's also no tier restrictions if you want to play ranked with your friends. So if you have a friend that's already playing Honor of Kings, you can just download the game and play with them as well. You only have a couple of days to do that though. So now would be the time to download Honor of Kings.
And Hells, we've got another giveaway.
We've
got another giveaway to do in the break. We've got, as we said, we had more to come your way, guys, and we have another code. I think for this one is, I'm hoping I get the pronunciation right here, Hells. Is it Jahu?
Jahu?
Jahu. I think it's a Jahu, and I think you have to use the code HOK Frenzy Party. I think it's for another in-game skin. So this time you're going to get a skin. There's 150 of these to give away, and I think you guys can redeem this in-game. So HOK Frenzy Party. I think you'll see it in chat. So I think some of the moderators will be posting it in chat for you guys. So make sure you go in game and claim that. I kind of want to do it myself because it's a free skin. So make sure you guys go and claim that in game, because it's another really, really cool giveaway. We've got one more as well, Hells, right, coming later. So make sure you stick around.
Oh yeah, and the quantities are going down. The skin, the things you get are better, because the next skin is going to be a mythic skin. And you have to be faster and faster, because now there's only 150 left and it goes fast. So go into your game, put in the code, just copy it from the chat, and you're gonna get a free skin. I mean, why would you not do that? And let's talk about the last game here, Xcandro, because I feel like this is gonna be the biggest show, this last game, right? And what do we expect from Arteezy's team? I want to say what I expect first before asking you. I expect a heavy early game comp, because at this point, if you try to allow Dominate's comp to scale into the late game, you're just gonna lose, because we can see during these later game team fights, Team Arteezy just doesn't really have a chance. And the only moments we saw them having a chance of doing something good in this game is during these earlier game engages, where Yikes just goes all in the jungle and tries to win the game, and Starting tries to roam around as well, try to make plays on his mid laner. I really think they have to double down on that. Don't pick anything late game. I don't care. Go all in early game.
By the way, I have been reliably informed that it is Shahu, I think. Shahu, I'm going to say. I'm hoping my reliable informant will tell me that I have said it right. But yeah, I think it's Shahu, and I think there are skins for Shahu available. So again, 150 available, HOK Frenzy Party, make sure you use it. But we're obviously heading towards our game 3. I mean, for me, I feel like, again, someone needs to take the shot calling role for Arteezy's team. And I think you need to play a hyper carry for Yikes. He needs to be on a hyper carry. So yeah.
So when you say hyper carry, you can either do it early game, or you can go for a later game hyper carry and pick all these champions like Yuhuan and all that kind of stuff around it to simply go all in hyper carry, which could scale into the late game. But like I'm 100% convinced they have to go full on the early game, just invade and indeed make shot calls, because we saw multiple times that Spragos was engaging with his Sun Chi, and he had great engages, right? He had amazing engages, but unfortunately there was just no follow-up because Yikes was farming his jungle while everything was happening. So while each individual player seems to be knowing what they're doing, they don't quite feel like a team to me. And that is the problem with Arteezy's team. And I really feel like if they can bring it together now, and someone being like, okay, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to invade here, we're going to engage now, You can hear even my dog's getting excited about the last game. I feel like then they're gonna make some good plays.
Yeah, no, I think Dominate's team have got it. I think what works well for Dominate's team, right, is that they put star on anything hyper carry-ish, like anything late game scaling hyper carry-ish. They know that they've got their game plan sorted. Like like I said, we could maybe see him on Ali next game. Like he could pull out the Ali, and that might be a viable pick for them. So I don't really feel like Dominate needs to change anything. Dominate's good. What would be interesting is if you ban Dharma. If you ban Dharma, does that put Dominate on something that makes him really uncomfortable, and then you can exploit a weakness on the team? Like maybe, because he's obviously defaulted to Dharma for whatever reason and just said, okay, I'm going to play that. But yeah, with Arteezy's team, I think I don't know whether you even just take like a really like basic sort of marksman type pick, like let's say Luban number 7, right?
Right.
So
it's a difficult one to say because Luban is quite easy to play, but if you do get snowballed when you're playing Luban, it's going to be extremely difficult to really do anything. I just would say comfort picks are going to be the main part of the game. Pick something you're comfortable at, and you're saying banning away that Dharma, that may be a good idea as well. We're going to figure out if that's going to happen because we're just getting into the draft. Well, we can see Hang Xin getting banned. This is a target ban against Yaikas, this one, obviously. And yeah, they're leaving up Dunn again, which is a strong early game tank, right?
Yeah, I mean, Dunn is a fantastic, again, my favorite character in the whole game. I think he's really flexible, but can be used in pretty much any situation. They banned Han Xin this time round. That's really interesting. Maybe they really did feel like that was a strong threat that could have been exploited. What do Arteezy's team ban this time round, though?
Yeah, the thing is, like, they target bans. Oh, there's the Dahlia ban.
They're the Dahlia.
That makes sense. Dahlia is very annoying because she was able to apply so much pressure in the lanes all the time, and she helped I Will Dominate survive his lane as well, and it just really helped them to win this game. So it makes sense that it's banned, but a lot of other picks are being left open, right? Like a lot of other picks. Mai is being left open. Ooh.
That's interesting because that was banned a couple of times previously. Now, I don't. You know what? I'm not a big rater of Lu Bu. I don't know if I love Lu Bu. I think he's okay.
He's very good, but exactly, this is I was gonna talk about this because Lu Bu is very, very good against front lines, right? All big front lines because he does true damage. Yeah. But he's terrible against back lines like Garo and Yuan. So picking him this is a tanky complex counter. Arteezy's team is gonna go full tank.
Oh my gosh, they're playing. Oh my god, they're
yeah.
They're playing like full fighter.
Full fighter, full tank.
They're playing Dian Wei. Dian Wei is like pure solo queue pick. Like Dian Wei is one of those picks that like scales like crazy and can take over games by himself, but also if you shut him down, is terrible.
Yeah, he's terrible. And then we also got in the support role a very interesting one. It's an engaging support. It's Zhang Fei. And Zhang Fei is an interesting one because that is a good pick into these backline carries. If Zhang Fei gets behind Arteezy on that Garo, he can push him back into his team, and then the Dian Wei is gonna run him down. And I feel like that is exactly what they're thinking, especially considering that we can see the stun being picked as the summoner spell.
I love this pickup, by the way, from starting Lady Zen. If I was going to pick anybody for melee zone control, to control melee characters and make sure they can't get close to you and make it difficult for them to engage, Lady Zen or Princess Frost would be my picks, right? And Lady Zen is incredible at this. I love this pick from starting.
And Lady Zen can put herself into stasis as well, so if she ever gets caught in a bad position, she's gonna be okay because she has self-sustain. And then with that Yuan as well. See, now we're actually seeing a completely different strategy than what we talked about. We really thought they would play around Yaikas, but let's talk about what they're actually doing. Yaikas picked Yuan, which is a late game scaling supportive jungler. This is not a carry jungler, this is a supportive jungler. She's gonna do a lot of damage because she has capabilities to do bonus damage. But she's mostly a supportive jungler, and the beauty of her is if she gets to the late game, she gets a couple of items, her stats are just gonna be big and she's simply gonna stat check the enemy.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's an interesting pickup. Playing maybe more around, maybe trying to play more cohesively this time around, maybe like less 100% reliant on Yaikas, but I mean, it's still the kind of pick that can run away with the game. If you're not careful.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I've seen many games being turned around by Yuhuan jungle. Many lost games,
Yeah.
even in competitive, where the Yuhuan pretty much, not quite solo carried, but solo carried in a sense where she supports her team so hard while doing a ton of damage. Oh, there's the Luban that you were talking about. You really think it's gonna get picked?
I don't know, because they're also going over Milady, and Milady's a very kind of like interesting one-dimensional type of pick as well. There is going to be a Sunbin come through. Sunbin is obviously a very kind of, I say like a basic support, like it kind of does its job. You know, there's nothing too crazy about Sunbin, so you know, just backline healing, trying to make sure you keep your team topped up and be a strong team fighter. Looks like we aren't going to see, I didn't think we were going to see the Milady. I thought Milady was a little bit too, you know, one-dimensional there, but Luban as well is an interesting pick, like a good pick for when you've got a strong front line, Hells.
Talking about the Sunbin, I really want to talk about that because that is pretty much my favorite pick in this entire draft because I play a lot of him and he's extremely good against these obvious frontlining champions because he can keep throwing his bombs on there and keep doing damage, and he boosts the movement speed of his teammates with his second ability. He can heal them up and all of that, and then his ultimate is that big silence and the big damage that is going to be extremely useful when the team of I Will Dominate is trying to dive in. He can silence all of them, and then he can just dash out a ton of damage while also boosting his own team's movement speed. So I love that pick.
Do you know what I love as well, though? We've got Arteezy's pick to gone for Lian Po. And again, I think that synergizes super well with Lady Zhen. Again, really good zone control. Can tank tons of damage in the front line too. I actually really like Arteezy's comp. If they have a chance of winning, I feel like it's this game.
And then talking about, I want to defend I Will Dominate's comp as well because this Daji pick is brilliant as well. Because the way Daji works, she bursts down. And she has big bursts. She can stun an enemy and just completely burst them down. And once she gets ahead, who's she gonna one-shot? She's gonna one-shot the squishy backline champions. And that is exactly what they're playing against Excalibur. These are 4 squishy backline champions on Arteezy's side. So I love this pick from Star. And it's Star. We know how strong Star is. He got the MVP both games in a row.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. Looks like Star's actually swapped mid, by the way.
Yeah.
So, not going into that support role. Looks like Solo Zag's actually taking the Luban down the bottom side of the map. Luban's a really interesting pick as well because he's actually quite difficult to lane against because of that passive where you can basically
100%, yeah.
spam, you know, that long range attack that's very difficult to deal with. Really nice stuff there. They're already zoning Arteezy out. They've also obviously swapped support positions. They've obviously sent Doves up to the top to support Spriggles, which has left Arteezy by himself on Garrow once again. Now, Garrow is kind of a good solo lane carry. Oh my gosh, Solo! Took way too much damage from the tower there. He's going to have to go back.
He nearly died. And they're actually playing 2v1 in the lane as well. But he nearly died in the bot lane. That's amazing.
Arting also took a massive trade versus Star and has sent him back to base already as well. So some good laning so far coming out from our Team Arteezy squad.
And the thing is though, Team Arteezy is already 400 gold ahead. They're doing a really good job early game to just get themselves a bit ahead in this game. Even though no kills have been picked up yet. They talking about no kills, they're diving Phil.
They are diving Phil and they pick it up on the top.
Oh, Spriggles!
Lane spots coming through. Spriggles will die, but it's kind of worth it for first blood, to be honest with you.
It's definitely worth it, especially because they're gonna lose this wave as well. You know, which is also like 150 to 200 gold, which will matter as well. My eyes are on Star, however. He's about to reach level 4, and when he reaches level 4, he's gonna unlock his ultimate, and he has a big ultimate. This ultimate of Daji, it's one of my favorite mid laners in this game as well because she just does so much burst damage.
Dominate's come to the top side of the map here.
We can see an engage from Yikes.
Oh, Yikes. Doesn't quite find it on the bottom side of the map. Dominate just came and soaked some free experience from the top side onto Phil and just backs away again. Looks like everything's chilling out for the time being, though. You can see starting doing typical starting things, just trying to be as aggressive as possible here and just going to clear that mid lane out. And won't get caught out by Pika, you feel like. But here comes Dominate 2.
Interestingly, Alexander, Dominate is the jungler this time. They swapped roles.
They swapped all their roles. Yeah, I didn't realize. They've basically swapped every single role.
They swapped everything. And then we can see Phil is...
I was going to say, Jian Wei is kind of more Dominate style, though, I think. Although he's waiting for the tower dive to happen here. Star jumps straight onto the back line.
There's the burst damage.
And he will pick up the kill. At least it will be...
It's 4 people diving the turret, by the way. They're proxy farming the wave as well. They're picking up kills, and they're gonna try to pick up the turret. Starting is desperately trying to defend, but Pika is applying so much pressure on him, and Starting just desperately gonna try to farm under his turret. But while I'm saying, Yikes is coming for some kills.
Yeah, Yikes is coming in here.
There it is.
He gets 1 pickup. He's going to go for the second. Yikes once again pop it off in the jungle. It's absolutely what you want to see. In the meantime, by the way, Phil Yomu's straight up dived Spraggles on the top side of the map. Spraggles not having as easy of a time in that solo lane this time round. And it looks like with that free pressure, we're going to try and put some pressure onto this mid lane tier 1 here. Already getting some damage onto Star, who gets... Oh my gosh, it's a rampage for our boy Yikes. This is the kind of start that you were wanting if you were Yikes' team.
And now he's actually on a hero that can convert it into a win. He's doing this on Yuan. He's winning early game. He's destroying them early game. Currently sitting on 3.3 thousand gold next counter. That's like 1,000 gold ahead of anyone on Arteezy's side. On Dominate's side, apologies. He's ahead by a lot.
Yikes just popping off once again, dude. This man is a monster. You know, he's got to say, just to give history to the player, he's got a lot of mobile MOBA experience. Massive amounts of mobile MOBA experience, and actually played a mobile MOBA that was very similar to Honor of Kings. So he kind of knows a lot of the heroes and knows how the game plays. So he's got that. He's kind of got the experience of this map already. So kind of, I think, has a lot of that legacy experience that's really useful here, and it's showing as well.
Oh, Star's waiting in the bush. Oh, he's waiting in the bush. He's about to one-shot anyone that shows up. But Pika goes in.
Pika's getting caught here. He gets taken down very low. In the meantime, though, they do lock up Yikes, but he survives with a lot of HP, and now going to try and trade back onto Star, who's forced to flash away. In comes Dominate looking for the fight. Doesn't quite land it, but it is going to be another pickup. That is a beautiful, beautiful engage outside the Tyrant here for Arteezy's team. And what a start for these guys this time round. As Starting by himself takes down Luban. Beautiful stuff. This is domination this time round.
Oh yeah, they are destroying them, and they've actually found a way to, potentially secure a win right here. Now it looks like they are just a lot of a better team, even though they lost the first 2 games, Alexandro.
Yeah, I mean, here goes the engage from Phil Yomu's.
And there's the U1 ultimate.
From Yikes. They get the first tower as well. Pika gets taken super low. And looks like there is potentially a little bit of a re-engage coming through here, but a lot more cohesion, although I will say it does mean that we just see Arteezy gets picked off on the side here. Yikes is going to go in once again. Doesn't have that ultimate to back out this time round, so we'll just be forced to retreat, but might be giving up the Tyrant in response for this. Starting taken down low, another big damage dealer in carry. The Luban second ability not quite able to get the job done here, but they will probably end up losing the Tyrant if Dominate's team can get around it, but it doesn't look like they want to do that, so all back to even Stevens.
And I want to talk about how insanely difficult this game is going to become for Yikes, because right now it looks like everything is nice and easy. He's doing a good job, he's carrying. But if you actually pay attention to how the fights are going, it's more and more difficult, while Solo Zac gets picked up for free, by the way. But it's going to be more and more difficult for him to actually survive. And the thing is, he can't just ult whenever he wants. His ult makes him untargetable, and this is his main ability to survive the game. He actually soon is going to have to dodge Daji's second ability, because that ability specifically will stun him, and while he's stunned, Daji will be able to dash out all of her abilities. The champion is designed that way.
Yeah.
She just stuns the enemy, uses all of her abilities, and she will one-shot you. So what I'm trying to get to is that Arteezy's team has to snowball. They have to snowball, and then Yikes is pretty much going to have to play a perfect late game, because this is not as hard of a snowball as you would think. This is definitely winnable for our Dominate's team.
Yeah, we're going up towards the top side of the map. Hopefully a little bit of a lull in the action here, because we do have to just mention that the last giveaway for Xiaoho was actually for Dun. So Xiaoho Dun is the giveaway skin there. So the HOK, remember the giveaway code, which was HOK Frenzy Party. That was for a skin for Xiaoho Dun. So for Dun specifically, you can get a skin there.
Yeah, it's going to be a skin, and we're going to have another skin after this game as well to give away. And while we were talking, that fight was just won by Arteezy's team, and it was not even close. None of them got low, they just won the fight, and they just keep pushing. They keep applying pressure. This is exactly what they have to do. On the top side, Pika is desperately trying to defend this turret as well, but then while they're trying to defend the top lane turret, they're losing the mid lane turret too. They're losing turrets left and right, they're losing jungle left and right. They're losing everything right now. Dominate is trying to potentially look for a bit of an engage on behind, and there he goes. Oh, he engages, he goes in.
He's not very fed at the moment, though, but he does manage to pick up starting, maybe.
There
No,
we
it goes
go.
down to Luban for the time being. It's going to be Yikes just trying to back away here. They are buying time for the Overlord to get taken. Which is what the rest of the team are doing for the time being. So the Overlord is the focus. Are they going to be able to sneak it away, though? Because you can see they are walking their way up, and they will get it. Just for the time being, that is a nice little sneaky trade. Good Oscar-winning action in the mid lane there with the acting that was going on from starting. And Yikes.
Yeah, they're not going to win this fight because they don't have an ADC.
Exactly, they turn it around, and they might even get away some jungle here, too.
Oh yeah, that is really, really good for Arteezy's team again. They just keep snowballing this game. This is exactly what they need to do. If they start to play... Oh, there it is! This is what I mean! This is what I mean! There it is! He just gets picked up by the Daji like it's nothing. This is exactly what I was talking about. This is the problem. And Daji just picked up an anti-heal item as well. Oh, Star's looking for another kill!
Oh, he's taken down super low. They will get it. That will go the way of Sunbin. And Dove picks up her kill there, which is great. Again, Arteezy's team still in the massive winning side of the fight right now. And you can see Spraggle's also going toe-to-toe with Youmu's on the top side of the map on this Lubu, really tanking that damage out, waiting for starting to come through here. I really did like the draft. I think the draft working out super well for Arteezy's team for the time being. But starting and Spraggle's got a little bit careful. The rest of the I Will Dominate squad is coalescing around them on the top side of the map.
It is working, but I can see a way where they're gonna lose it late game. I'm gonna say it again. I can see a way. You can see Pika's trying to go all in, engaging all the way in the backline, but 1 versus 3, it's just a little bit too difficult to do that. Oh, there's Daji though. There's Star on the Daji, and the U1 ultimate avoided his stun. That's exactly what I was talking about. Oh my god.
Beautiful stuff. 2 people down already. They're going for the top side of the map here. Lubu just by himself, chilling in the jungle as the rest of his squad gets absolutely wiped. What are you doing? Nah, there's no way. There's no way, bud. There's no way. You get absolutely blasted. That, my friends, looks like it could be GG with the Overlord here. We've got an Overlord Dragon pushing in on the top side of the map. This is a very quick, decisive clapback here from Arteezy's team, and they will at least take a win from this series. GG's to Team Arteezy.
Wow. And Yikes did exactly what I told you. He dodged the stun from Daji, which was pretty much exclusively the only thing that could kill him. And then he just carried the fight, and they won already. What a beautiful game by Team Arteezy. And I would love to see more of this, because all 3 games were so good. Both teams just played incredible games, and just wow, Exano. Just wow, what can I say?
Yeah, absolutely insane. What a way to round out our HAK High 5 Day Frenzy party. That was incredible gameplay, and I love to see Arteezy's team get a win back. But obviously, congratulations to I Will Dominate's team. They take the winning scoreline overall here. But I think we can finally award the MVP that we really wanted to.
And there it is, Yikes. The low-key MVP of every game. But this time we can actually give him the MVP because they won the game.
Oh, absolutely brilliant. That was, I mean, Yaika's absolute beast in all 3 games, really. Honestly, I kind of have to say that I want to give credit to him. He was shadow MVP for the first 2 games, and finally gets his chance to be the MVP in this game. And really, just an absolutely excellent player. What an incredible set of games. That was Honor of Kings at its best. Got to see some of the coolest heroes that you can see, the way things work together. What was your favorite game? I want to know what your favorite game was.
Third game, because we finally saw Yikes being able to pull off a win with his carrying in the jungle. He finally picked a carry jungler that can actually convert it into the late game. And it was especially my favorite game because he dodged the stuff he had to dodge. Like, it's a professional playing the game. It was just incredible for me to watch, because like, I'm a high elo Honor of Kings player as well, and I can see these things, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are going to be able to see this as well. And in the last game, we could specifically see the win conditions of both teams, but Yikes just pulled through and did the thing he had to do every single time. He only got caught once. He just died once when he made the mistake against Daji. That was it. And then another thing as well, which is even more interesting, we have another giveaway, another skin giveaway. And this time, there's only going to be 100 available, so you better be quick. And the code is HOK win together. This is going to be a mythic skin, massive skin. It's going to be for Gong Soon Lee. And yeah, type it in the game. You're going to be able to claim that skin as well. And yeah,
I think you get 200 points. I think you get 200 card points, right? 200 points per card.
That's an additional giveaway as well.
Yeah.
For sure.
So I think you get a lot of stuff from HOK.
You get a lot of stuff.
So you need to claim that like ASAP. In fact, I might go and
You're on your way to claim it already.
I'm on my way to claim it already. So you get there before me. You got to deny me from getting the code.
Oh my god. Man, Xcando, I love today's games. They were actually better than I expected. The games were so good. And you know what I really loved as well? Is because in the first game, we saw a lot of mistakes being made. Right? Like in the first game, both sides made a lot of mistakes. They were very aggressive and they really had their hearts into it. And for me, that is the most important thing. You know, they had their hearts into it. They were not scared to make mistakes, but they also learned from their mistakes. Both teams, you know, they learned from their mistakes. And then the last two games were incredible in my opinion as well. So I just really loved watching this and I really loved casting this with you as well. And I really hope the audience enjoyed it a lot as well. Lots of giveaways we did, lots of everything. And I'm getting a message that we may have an interview.
Yeah, it sounds like we'd be able to do a quick interview with both of the team captains, which is going to be pretty exciting. Get to hear from Arteezy and get to hear from Dominic.
Oh yeah, that would be very exciting. So for now, we're just waiting for someone to join us for an interview, and
I think it'll be Dominate first. So I think we're gonna chat to Dominate first and see what he thought.
See what he thought of these games. I'm sure he's gonna be happy because even though they lost last game, he actually ended up winning. His team ended up winning 2-1. So sure he's gonna be very happy.
I think they went mega chill mode and just swapped roles in the last game. But do you know what? That's fine. You know, it can have a bit of fun. And Dominate, obviously a natural jungler from League of Legends. Just wanted to see, because obviously I think Janve has like a similarity to some of the characters he's probably used to playing from other MOBAs. So yeah, no, I think that was cool to see him from. I'd love to hear from the captains. I think it'd be great to hear from them and how they thought, how they liked Honor of Kings. You know, how they strategized each game. I'm kind of interested to hear from them.
Yeah, and in the last game, we could actually see, you know, it's difficult for him and Arteezy to play these games because you have to understand the players they were playing with, they're actually really good at Honor of Kings. Really, really good. Like we had some competitive players in these teams as well. So, but he was able to make plays. You have to understand, like this is a guy entering a game where he's not a pro player at, right? And he's playing with and against some pros. And we're about to go in their voice call to interview I Will Dominate. So let's go.
Be our coach.
Hey there, guys.
Oh, here we go.
We're on broadcast right now. Congratulations on winning. And we're just very briefly going to interview I Will Dominate right here and talk about...
hey, what's up, what's up?
Hey, man. So what do you think of those games? You guys won 2-1. Are you satisfied?
Yeah. So what went on there? I know you were probably watching the third game and you were wondering what happened. We just it was like a sympathy type deal. Where, you know, like we won the first two and, you know, we didn't want to like, you know, leave them with a bad taste in their mouth. So we decided to just give them a third one. That's why I was, you know, like AFKing a little bit in the jungle. I wasn't lagging, you know, I was just trying to give them a head start.
I was wondering why you were AFK during that specific dive. You guys were all diving their turret and you were just standing still.
I actually thought Dom was griefing and just soaking solo in XP, but
no, they were telling me to dive and I just don't like to be told what to do, so I was just griefing them. That's what was happening.
Dom, obviously you switched to jungle then, so and that's obviously your more classic. That's your more natural role. How did you find it? Do you feel like you were as able to command the game as much from jungle, or happy being on your island in solo lane?
Honestly, I felt like if I was able to just like, you know, get a few more camps, I actually thought that like on Dion Wei that character would suit me pretty well, because it's kind of similar to like other characters that I've played before. Like all the abilities are kind of point and click. They're suitable for like an old man. So, you know, I was pretty happy to like.
Hey, see, I'm not the only one calling you an old man, Xcando. You guys are both old men.
Just a context, Dom. I've cast. Well, so we could say League. I've cast League for years. I cast you when you were in LCS. So I was saying at the start, I'm an old man. I've watched Dominate for like 15 years.
I mean, that makes me feel like an old man. Like,
no, you're probably not as old as me. I'm Munch's age, Munchable's age. I'm like mid.
I think I'm older than Munchables.
Okay, maybe you are older than me. I went.
But how old are you, Scoundrel?
I'm 33.
That's not too bad.
In a couple months, so yeah.
I mean, you're looking young, Dom, though, mate. You're looking young. You're fine.
That's what I've been trying to tell my chat. They don't agree, but you know, I've been trying to tell them that. So hey, I appreciate it.
No, well, congrats, guys. That was a really, really cool game. And what just actually interesting, your first two games, like, kind of, what was your strategy? Just like give Star a hyper carry, play around Star, or was there anything like, how did you go about deciding that?
So pretty much the strategy was, I need to die less times than Arteezy in the game, and if that happens, then maybe we could win. That was pretty much the strategy. So it was like, go top. Every time I asked like my teammates, I'm like, hey, how strong is this guy early game? You think I could fight him? I don't know if they were just lying to me, but they told me every single time the enemy character was stronger than me, so I shouldn't fight. So I was just doing what I could, like not fighting, chilling, and then at the end of things, Star came through and just carried us.
Yeah, they threw Arteezy in the tough lane. To be fair, they made him.
They made him have to carry the game as the ADC.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Well, congratulations, guys. That was a great game, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed and had a good fun playing HOK. And thanks for taking part.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. See you guys.
It's an honor. Lots of fun.
Jungling.
Hey, Arteezy.
Oh, yo, what's up?
What's up?
Where
We're on the
am I?
podcast right now. Just gonna do a quick interview with you to
shit.
talk about these games.
Well, absolutely. They were a roller coaster. Let's call it.
They were roller coaster. It felt like there were no safe plays. You guys went all in. So, do you agree with me? Did you guys put all of your heart into this? You went all in. You tried to make the big plays happen.
Let me run it through. So game 1, a little bit of a warm up. They're testing team comms. A bit of a Discord technical issue every now and then. We got that sorted out after game 1. Then game 2, I switched heroes. I felt like my last Marco Polo. I felt it was a bit too easy for me, so I wanted to complicate things a bit. So after
Right.
the Marco Polo adventure, I switched it up a bit, and I played Garo. And I think after that, game 3, I would say we locked in. Game 3, we actually all tried because we
Game
didn't
3,
know
you
what we were gonna
destroyed
get ourselves
them.
into. So yeah, it was pretty easy. We wanted to give them some just enjoy the game a bit, but.
You know what Dominate said during his interview? I'm not sure if this was actually true, but he said that they kind of gifted you guys the win. They didn't want to win everything. What do you have to say about
I'll
that?
be honest. I mean, the captain to captain, purely captain speaking here, I solo killed him every game, and that's just how it goes. Game 1 solo kill, game 2 solo kill, then game 3 we just decided to play as a team for once.
Yeah.
I mean-
Obviously, you went to the carry role. Obviously, in Dota you've played a variety of roles, but obviously are used to playing hard carry as well. Like, does that felt like the natural role for you here?
Yeah, when I was discussing last night, we were doing a little strategy meetup, me and Dove. We're discussing how we're gonna take tomorrow. She was telling me that I should play support and she should play carry, but I denied that real quick because I gotta play carry. You know how it goes. I gotta see if my skills transition into carry role from Dota, and I dare say they did.
Well, do you know what? It was, Yikes as well, I think really played well in the jungle for you guys. He had that done game, we thought you guys were going to win. Like, you should have won. You feel like you should have won the first game. Like, that was very close. So I think you guys played really well overall.
Yeah, I think it was just like we're testing limits, You gotta get some L's before you can get some dubs. That's how it goes.
Yeah, it really felt like you finally unlocked your full potential during that last game. I really want to see more of what you guys can do.
We kind of were interested in playing a BO5, but
Right.
I will dominate. He kind of wanted to call it. He just wasn't having it.
Oh, he couldn't take the heat. He thought, the reverse sweep was on the cards. He just he knew he couldn't take it.
Being up 2-0 and then going 3-2, I've been there. It's not the nicest feeling in the world for sure. He wanted to save himself, get some good rest tonight. Take it easy.
I think Dom's had a couple of those in his competitive career as well. So don't worry.
I see. Ditto.
That's easy, dude. It's been great, and thanks for coming and playing on HOK. Friday Frenzy, you've been incredible. So thanks so much, Midge.
It was a pleasure. Everybody who has not tried this game out, go ahead and give it a try. Please, it's a great time. Thank you for having me, guys.
Oh yeah, thank
Adios.
you. Bye. All right, Excandro, it's time to wrap up. This was I'm sweating a lot. You know why?
Yeah, it was because it was intense.
This was intense.
Set of games.
This was intense. I was sweating out every time I was thinking, if this happens, the game is gonna turn. If this happens, they're gonna win the game. And when you watch games like that, it's just phenomenal. And with Honor of Kings, you get that every single game. When I play this game, this is, by the way, the most played mobile MOBA in the world, Honor of Kings. So you're missing out if you're not playing it yet. And with Honor of Kings, I just feel like the heat is always on. You just keep fighting, keep invading, keep doing everything. It's not the type of game where you're just farming for 5 minutes and you're waiting and everything. No, you're turret diving and then the next minute you're in bot lane. And you can see while we're casting, I'm moving my camera around every 5 seconds. Something is happening here and then something is happening here. And this is why,
I was following stuff on my camera that was like, oh, bloody hell, Hells is looking at something else in the
Yeah, because it's 3 things at the same time happening.
Yeah, it's incredible. And obviously, just a reminder, guys, you can still go and claim the HOK Win Together code. I think it's 200 tokens, so make sure you can put that in chat and put it in your game, and you'll be able to go and grab those tokens, which are obviously able to unlock lots of different things in the game. So really limited. Go and grab it. It's your one chance to go and get some free stuff in game, so make sure you do. But I mean, I've had so much fun today, guys. I've had a blast casting 3 really, really fun games of HOK. Lots of different heroes that we got to see. Lots of different team comps that we got to see as well, Hells.
Yeah, and I want to thank the audience for watching as well. I want to thank Arteezy Dominate and I Will Dominate and all the other players for putting up such a phenomenal show. And thank you all so much for watching this. And that's going to be it for Xcandro and me. We're going to have to rest, because I'm sure Xcandro is very tired of this as well, from this big action-packed stream today. So, yeah, do you have anything else to say, Xcandro?
No, but thanks for having me, Hells. Thanks for having me on the this amazing broadcast with, again, one of my favorite games. HOK is an incredible mobile MOBA. Probably the best I've ever played. So, I think anyone else who's watching it and is sitting on the fence about giving it a go, they definitely should. It's as you see, really, really action-packed, high-intensity games. Don't last 50 minutes and you can still get all the same amount of action. So yeah, I loved it.
All right. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. See you later.
Innkeeper, huh? This is from the guest upstairs. Huh? My, I'm rich. He said it was a repayment. Huh?
Innkeeper, I'd like to take that off your hands. Name your price. Come on, indulge me.
Sorry to keep you waiting. Here.
Interesting.
Northern Frost! Where's the man? Let the 12 houses keep it safe for you. Let's spare the world another bloodbath.
You'll have to ask my blade.
Fine, I'll play your game. After all your travels, you couldn't even buy a decent sword?
Silence!
You have skills, but I see plenty of openings.
Not bad, Master of the House of Riches.
Want it back?
Let's get out of here!
Sorry!
Read the manual!
Come on! We're just playing around!
Why so serious?
This concerns the good of the martial world. You can't have the book.
Allow me? You prestigious schools talk a big game, but you're all just making excuses for yourself. You're still here?
Not good. It's a fake!
You're playing with us.
Illusion magic! Run! If only I had an alternative, this would never have happened! Ah!
Those tears of a broken heart. Broken spirits restless in the dark. There's no point to resist. We'll get the secrets we after.
Magic. Despicable.
That's why Megan keeps the martial manual for himself. For that treasure. I see. It's with the sword.
Quiet! The manual is already back out in the world. Yeah!
An excellent performance.
The forbidden?
Welcome to the inn. Welcome to your doom.